CM 365, all about Carnatic music.
Today I'll be sharing something about Subbaraya Sastry, another eminent composer who really gave us some very beautiful compositions. Shama Sastry had two sons, Panju Sastry and Subbaraya Sastry. Now Subbaraya Sastry indeed proved to be a worthy son of a worthy father and became an eminent musician and composer. He actually inherited his father's talent in a large way, and the environment was also perfect actually for him to blossom into a genius. Now generally we see that one is a disciple of a great master, then he becomes some kind of a replica of that great master only. But here we see that Subbaraya Sastry developed an individual style of his own, and being original despite divergent forces is what makes Subbaraya Sastry very, very distinct. He evolved a style of his own, combining the best aspects of the Trinity, and gave expression to his creative faculty through his marvelous compositions. We could say that in terms of understanding and expressing the grandeur of ragas, he followed Muthuswami Dikshidhar. In terms of the development of Sangatis, he took after Tyagarajar. And as for the easy flow of the Tala, he followed Subbaraya Sastry. So probably we could compare that music of Subbaraya Sastry and say that it was a confluence of three mighty rivers. That is a sangamam of three rivers. That is the best of Tyagaraja, Dikshidhar and Shama Sastry imbibed together, which came out, or rather flowed out as beautiful compositions from Subbaraya Sastry. This, of course, a classic example immediately you can think of is the composition Janani Ninnuvina in Reethigola, which really explores and makes the raga blossom so well. How he takes it across gradually from the Mandrasthai Ninisa Janani Ninnuvina Amba Janani. The entire composition actually Reethigola just overflows. I would say that's the kind of depth with which he has handled that ragam. And of course the Swara Sahityam in that is par excellence. How he has used the swaras as a beautiful chain of a garland to explore the ragam is something all of us must actually look into deeply, rather than looking it as just one passage of Swaram and Sahityam, how they complement each other and how the notes have been garlanded together. That is something we have to really look into to see the genius of the composer. Then of course in the court of Tanjore, he was actually there, and in the court they entertained musicians from north, like the Maharashtra musician Kokila Kanta Meru Goswami, and the Hindustani musician Ramdas Swami was also, they had come there. Probably all the influence of these Hindustani musicians is what made him compose that another very important composition, Venkata Shaila Vihara and Hamir Kalyani, where you see that he has incorporated all the elements of the Hindustani music in terms of the beautiful jarus that flow through the composition, like Venkata Shaila Vihara Nive Gati Brova Radha Venkata Shaila Vihara. It's a very slow gate composition. Nevertheless, it explores this Hamir Kalyani very, very beautifully. In this particular song, as for the lyrics, we see that it conceives Venkata Narayanaswamy as a lord in a state of reclining, Shaila Vihara. He dreamt of the Lord and describes what he saw in his vision. And this composition has got 5 beautiful charanas in that. As for some more details about him, we see that he was born in the Kritika Nakshatra, the same star of his father, and this also is the star of Lord Subramanya. So his Mudhra that he has adopted in his composition as Kumara. Like his father, he foresaw his end. That is another very, very interesting thing. When he was 60, he went to Udiyar Palayam, and at the invitation of the Zamindar there, and he was performing the Sandhya Vandanam one evening, after which he predicted that he will only live for about 2 hours, and exactly after 2 hours he passed away. So these are all the kind of great souls, I would say, where they even knew about when their last minute was coming. And he had actually coming to his the hereditary after that, we see that he did not have any issues, and he adopted his elder brother's son, Annaswamy Sastry. Now this Annaswamy Sastry also has composed a few compositions, and he had a son who was also named Shama Sastry after the grandfather. So it's Shama Sastry too, we could to identify, we could say that, and he further had 2 sons. Thus we see that Shama Sastry actually had a very wonderful lineage in terms of having kind of good musicians and composers as part of his lineage, who have also given us, though there are only a small quantity of compositions, it's not a vast number they have given, it's a limited quantity. Even Shama Sastry, for that matter, we could say the quantity was very less compared to Dikshadhar or Tyagarajar, but in terms of quality it holds supreme, and so probably we could say that the same of all the other composers, including Subbaraya Shastri.
CM 365, all about Carnatic music.